Hey y'all, it's Jordyn Swingle with season 2 of Let's Just Be Real. I'm so excited to be bringing you a new season with a new set, so many new guests and stories that you have to hear. So grab your best friend, sit down on your couch, and let's get to it. Well, hi y'all. Welcome back to season 2. Did you miss me just a little bit? We had a wild summer. It was chaotic and traveled way too much. Truthfully, we'll never do that again. We went on 5 different trips, which amazing luxury, but I didn't sleep and I lived out of a suitcase, and that meant we didn't get to podcast as much as we had liked. So this season is coming to you a little bit delayed, but that just means that you had some time to anticipate what was coming. And I can tell you that it is going to be a wild ride. So buckle up. Today, especially, is going to be a roller coaster, okay? There's going to be a lot of stuff that we talk about that maybe don't let your kids listen in, maybe not. You use your discretion for that. This person is someone that I have actually written her name down on my dream list of a podcast guest because I believe in her story and what she has to tell, and she is amazing. She is a mom, she's a wife, she's a hard worker, and she's freaking TikTok famous. She's incredible. So I'm so excited. I can't wait. Okay, this is Ciara, right?
Hi, bestie.
Oh my gosh. So if you watch her on TikTok at all, that's your intro.
Mm-hmm.
It's hi, besties.
Hi, bestie.
And I get so excited every time I click on your video and I'm like, oh, okay, let me sit down. Let me prepare.
No, I'm at home.
Right? Sipping on my coffee. Let me prepare for all the things that we're about to talk about. So I'm just so thankful that you decided to do this because truly, knowing you personally has been such an awesome gift. Obviously, you were one of my clients in real estate, which was so sweet. And just getting to know you more, I feel like you have so many layers and you're so strong. And so when I was planning out season 2, I was thinking about women that I respect and that can add value to this community. And you were one of them.
That's so sweet.
Yeah.
No, it's literally like a bucket list dream to be on a podcast.
Really?
Yes.
Because you just want to tell your story in long form.
I want to tell the story. I also love listening to podcasts.
Yeah, same.
Obsessed.
Yeah,
I want my own podcast one day.
Come on.
Teach
Put it
me
on the
all
dream board.
things.
I got you, girl. Come for the tips. So we're going to talk about a lot of things today that are emotional and, all the things. And I pride myself, let's just be real, on telling the truth and the good, bad, and the ugly, because I think that it's a disarming way for us to communicate our past and our present and what we want for our future, right? In a real, raw, sometimes ain't cute way. Mm-hmm. So let's get into it. Okay. So first of all, you and I haven't known each other that long. Mm-hmm. We literally were just recapping this. The first time I met you, I gave you a spray tan. Mm-hmm. Which RIP, because did I have any idea what I was doing? Absolutely not.
I never would have known.
I surely did fake it though.
Was great. It was wonderful. I loved it.
There you go. So that was my honest moment of I literally bought that machine for $100 on Facebook Marketplace. And I was like, let me just start a little business.
I can do this.
I got it. I figured it out. You should have seen my first couple people. I was like, oh, what have I done?
What happened?
It's okay. It's the past.
No, I never would have known that.
Really?
And it was for my baby shower. So there was
no
a
pressure.
lot writing.
Okay.
It was good.
Cool. I'm really glad that I was not aware of that at the time. Okay. So we met a couple years ago, and then recently we've gotten to know each other more, but they don't know you at all. And we talk about this, and I say it every time, a foundation of understanding of who you are. So take us to the beginning, where were you born? Where'd you grow up? Who raised you? I want to know it all.
There's just so much.
I know.
There's so much to unpack here. I've always lived here. Grew up in Fort Worth.
Dallas, Fort Worth.
Yeah.
That's where we're at.
I went to Richland High School.
Okay.
I did. So when I was coming through, I was like, oh.
That's my hood, girl.
That's my old hood.
I love it.
I went to Richland. But growing up, I grew up in a very tumultuous household.
Yeah.
It was my parents, and then I have a little brother. There were lots and lots of fighting. My parents would get in a fight, and then all of a sudden, all of my grandparents would be in the front yard, and cops would be in my front yard.
Because so fights were physical.
Yeah, they were physical, and they were just holes in walls,
God.
chaos.
Yeah.
So I have all the grandparents, police officers, and I'm like eldest daughter syndrome to a T. So I'm like trying to just sit there with my brother and just like be good and calm him down. And that was just the norm, as terrible as it is. Yeah. And so eventually my parents split up. I went with my mom. My mom and I were very, very close when I was younger. And my brother and my dad had a very special bond from the beginning. So my brother went with my dad. And I think I was 12 or 13 when this happened. I feel like I was going into freshman year of high school when they finally got divorced, which is like, stay together for their kids. No, don't do that. Don't do that.
No. 2
happy homes are better than one
toxic
terrible, awful home.
Yeah.
Don't do that to those babies.
Yeah.
So went with my mom, and that's when I kind of started noticing some weird patterns and tendencies. Turns out my mom struggles with addiction. She is sober now. I do want to say that.
Great.
She is sober now, and she's been sober for several years from what I've heard. But I'm so glad that she is. However, it's like I needed a mom when I was 15. Yeah. Right? Like those are so like influential times in your life.
100%.
Like to have a mother. Yeah. And I didn't have that.
And a sober mom.
A sober mom. Yeah. A mom that you could talk to, that you could go to. Like I did not have that.
Do you have any memories of like watching her addiction play out in front of you? Like, you were involved.
Oh yeah. There are some very, very dangerous situations that I was put in that I didn't know that I was in at the time. Yeah. When you're 14, we're whatever year it was, we're walking around in Sophie shorts and camis.
Yeah, right.
Like,
oh God, Sophie shorts. Thank God those are gone.
No, because my daughter ain't. No way.
You got me messed up thinking I'm gonna walk out the house looking like that. Yeah, no, thank
you. There was a lot of times I'd be walking around the house and like random guys would like be there, and I didn't think anything of it. I'm like, oh, these are like my mom's friends. Looking back, I'm like, red flag.
Well, and you're like taught intrinsically to trust your parents. Like that's the one person you're safe with in your mind. Yeah. And unfortunately, her addiction put you in situations where you weren't safe.
Yeah. I know like at one point, like there was a boyfriend who lived with us, and we had just gotten this duplex, and I was so pumped because I was like, finally, like my mom is like getting all the things together, and we're gonna have a new start. A new beginning. And literally the day we moved in, this guy shows up, and he never left. And I was so angry and hurt because I thought that my mom did this for me as her child.
Like, you're finally putting me first.
Yeah. Like, finally we have this. Like, you did this. And this guy comes and never leaves. And I remember that guy, like, I remember walking down the hallway and I could hear snoring like in one of the bathrooms. And in my mind, I'm like, oh my gosh, what a freaking idiot. Like he literally fell asleep in the bathroom. Like, wow, what a moron. Cause like I hated him, but he was high as a kite, like heroin high.
In your house.
In my house with me.
Okay. So obviously, spoiler alert, you're a mom now. Like, could you fathom ever putting your children in a situation where, and like, obviously we're not addicts, like we don't empathize with that, but how do you feel reflecting on that? Like, does it make you angry? Have you forgiven her for that? Like, how do you feel?
It used to make me very, very angry. Like I hated her. Yeah. I think over the years with age and with time, I do not hate her. She'll like randomly message me on Facebook or something, and like we can have like a very superficial conversation about a show or a podcast. Right. Because like all my true crime love like comes from her.
That's sad. You know what I mean? Because like in your brain, and we do this, right, as humans to cope and to survive, like you're able to compartmentalize, right? Like there were still good things about her. Yeah. And that's true. Right? Like you still have remnants of those memories about her. But do you feel like the addiction and your upbringing like overshadowed the good?
Yeah. Like that's what she's told me before. She's like, I am still your mother, Ciara. And I'm like, okay. And she'll like, do you not remember all of these good memories. And I'm like, well, one, I don't remember a lot from when I was like 2 or 3 when things were, great, apparently.
Right.
And 2, no, when you put me in the situations that you've put me in, that overshadows whatever good you tell yourself to sleep at night. And I've told her too, like, I am the mother that I am because of her. For better, for worse. I really am. And regardless of what I went through, like, I do thank her. Yeah. I thank her so much because I would not be the mama bear ready to pounce on anybody that messes with my baby.
Right.
If not for her.
Yeah, I agree. And I think, like you were talking about getting older and those things, I think even if your parents aren't struggling with addiction, like, you get older and you recognize, oh my God, they're just a human too. Like,
they're learning.
They're trying to figure out.
Yeah.
And they had kids at 20 or 30 and they're still growing into themselves and figuring it out. And like, dear God, I hope my kids give me that grace, that I was still figuring it out when they were like really growing up and watching that stuff firsthand.
Yeah.
So, okay. Well, that's heavy.
Yeah.
Like,
I think my parents were like 20 and 21. They were like at a party.
Yeah.
Like, they were just babies. They were in a toxic, volatile relationship, like most are when you're in your early 20s, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And then that happened. Yeah. So they did what they could. And that
rocks your world in your 20s. Like, I had Ellie when I was 23. And even that, I'm like, what? Y'all really let me leave the hospital with a whole child?
I had no business having this baby.
Y'all thought I was going to be able to keep her alive? Like, that's wild to me.
Yeah.
But, also, I think that there is a certain space to allow them to take accountability for their actions.
Definitely.
And to, reconcile that if that's an option. And I think that you and I were talking about this before, like, us, especially firstborn daughters, we will naturally be like, all right, I'm going to give them another chance. I'm going to give them another chance. I'm going to give them another chance.
Yeah.
And allow behaviors to continue that shouldn't continue. So I'm really proud of you because I do feel like you have come into this space in your life and in your heart where you're like, I can forgive you and also not continue to allow you to have a place in my life that you don't deserve.
Right. Because ultimately she's sober. I'm so glad. I hope that she's happy and doing all the things that she wants to do. However, I do not see her as being a positive, influential role model for me or my kids.
Right. Which is super hard.
It is hard.
It's painful to admit that out loud.
It is.
But
I'd rather...
Once again, you're protecting your own children.
Yeah, I would rather know that and recognize that than have anything drip onto them.
I agree. That's rough. And there's probably a lot of polarizing opinions about that. And, to which I would say to each his own. Yeah. And it's not your life. But I think what you're doing is brave. And I support you in that. Okay, so, obviously you became a mom. How old were you when you had Emery?
I was 20. When I had Emery.
Dang, girl.
I was a baby.
20. Okay, so trigger warning, okay?
Yeah.
We're going to talk about some baby daddies that maybe weren't the best.
I know. My picker was broken. It's fine.
I literally have told other people that about people in my life. I'm like, your picker's broken. Like, let me submit the applications to me. I will review them and then, no. So you get pregnant at 20 years old with someone that was not good.
No.
Was he ever good?
No.
So at 20 years old, I'm going to say that like frontal whatever that's supposed to be developed maybe ain't there yet.
It's not developed.
Right? Like that's why we're not supposed to have kids at that age.
Yeah.
So tell me, so did y'all ever, so you get pregnant, right? And then when do things turn violent?
They were always violent. It was one of those situations that like, this is a bad boy. And we love a bad boy.
Until he's actually bad.
Until
and then we're like, whoa.
Yeah, until he's like bad.
This isn't like the movies where I can like convert you to a nice guy.
Right. It was like, I'm going to change him.
Oh.
Bestie, listen.
You're not.
You're not going to change him.
No. His potential will never fully develop.
Yeah, he's trash. Kick him to the curb. He's not changing.
Yeah.
But I like... Looking back, I like really believed that like I loved him. Like I loved him with like, and I'm like, girl, what? No, you didn't. You didn't even know what love was. You didn't love yourself. You didn't know what love was to even watch growing up. Like you ain't got a clue, baby.
And yet you about to share a child with this man.
Yes.
Woo! That's hard. Okay, so you meet him. How quickly into knowing him did you get pregnant?
Not quickly. We were together. Like, we dated. We were together. I would say for at least a year and a half, something like that. I actually lived with him and his parents because I was making such poor choices.
Yeah.
My family was like,
yeah,
that is not. My dad was like, no, ma'am.
Yeah.
My dad was like, you've made these choices. Like,
now you
have left my house for the last time talking terribly to me. You are not welcome back. And honestly, that was the best thing my dad could have done for me.
Yeah, because you got to turn
I had
yourself
to figure
over.
it out.
Yeah, you do. You do sometimes.
So I end up meeting him. We start dating. I'm living with his family. Like, what? What in the world? And it was violent at that time. There was a lot of, he would cheat on me. You're gonna love this. You're gonna be.
I'm already like
you're gonna be so angry. Okay, so this man did not have a job. This man did not.
Ciara, he's a busted bum.
He's a scrub. He's like TLC scrub. Like, not me riding in my 98 Honda Civic listening to TLC.
And you're like, you didn't get a scrub. You got one.
He's in my passenger seat.
Woo. Okay, let me bring my blood pressure back down. So he has no job.
He has no job.
And then he puts hands on you.
And then he puts hands, not even borderline worse. So, like, I had a job. I have worked since I was 17.
Woman.
Yeah, I'm like, I ain't got the time. I got to get money. I got to get out of here. So I'm working, and I'm working at a local mental health facility. I am the receptionist.
I love that.
The irony here. And this man literally drops me off at work, takes my car, and my phone, because he ain't got that either. Drops me off at work, takes my car, my phone, goes out and parties, cheats on me, and then just comes back and picks me up at 10 o'clock when my shift is over.
Please tell me he's not texting these women on your phone.
Oh, I have no doubt. Yes, definitely. I have no doubt that these women were in my car.
Oh,
I've heard stories that they were like in the back seat when I was also in the car.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
In the car with you.
That's what I
That's
heard.
a next level, like, bro, you're dumb.
Like, why would you do that?
And evil.
And I was so naive. And don't get me wrong, we're all a little rebellious and crazy at that age. But like, I was just a little baby. Like, I didn't like, chaos and things like that. And so I was just like, what? Like, I really thought that I love this man. And
he's out here doing dirt. Oh my God. Okay. Okay. Let's talk about it in a more serious way though. Like, when was the first time I got like physically violent?
I don't even remember the first time. The time that stands out the most to me was we were at a party, and this is in Denton. So this is like a huge party town.
Yeah. I went to UNT. I lived there. I low-key loved it a little bit.
So we're always going to parties.
Right.
Always. And I think at this point we were like in a fight, or we were broken up. Like, we would break up, get back together, break up. I don't remember if we were technically together at this time, but I went to a party. He was at said party. And of course I'm like, I'm going to talk to you, like, I can't just leave him alone because I'm toxic. Because
you got to fix it.
I'm toxic and
you gotta fix
crazy
him.
And we can even work this out.
Yeah.
Why do you want to work this out? Anyway, so I pull him off to the side of the house, and one of his friends walks with him to the side of the house. And I remember in that moment, he literally rears back and punches me in the face as hard as he can. And I fall on the floor, and I'm out of it, but I can still hear, and I hear his friend saying, "What did you do? What did you do?" And I'm like, I can't move.
That makes me physically ill.
Yeah, it's so...
Because
looking back, I just like want to hug her and like...
Yes. That like breaks my heart because you don't fall in love with someone thinking that they're going to physically harm you.
No.
Like, you think, I'm safe with this person, and like, we're taught that we're safe, and then...
Yeah.
Oh, so what comes next?
I don't even remember. I feel like I probably just got up and left. I know that there were other circumstances where like we would be fighting and I would like be trying to leave, like I would like gather all of my stuff in like my bags. All I had was clothes, like and clothes in my car. Like I lived out of that 98 Honda Civic. It was me and that car.
She held you down
till the end.
Yeah.
Okay, till the motor went out. And like I remember I would be trying to leave and like he would hold me down. He would hold my arms out and he would bite me. He would bite me on
sick.
On the inner parts of my arms because you couldn't see it. Like if you're wearing a regular shirt. Things like that. I remember another time my keys were on a lanyard. And so like he had come to pick me up and we were fighting because he was drunk or high, who knows. And he would not let me drive. And so we were fighting about the fact that he was not going to drive. And he reared back and hit me with the lanyard and it popped all of the blood vessels in my eye. And so like I couldn't go to work for several days.
Okay. Oh, I wish to God I would have been your friend back then because I would have been like, you're living with me. And that's my savior mentality. Like, I'm going to fix it like psycho. Right?
And I really don't think I even had like any friends back then because
he isolated
me. So I didn't talk to my family. I had no friends.
And that's what abusers do.
Yeah.
They isolate you. They gaslight you to make you think that you're crazy or that no one's going to want you. They abuse you in ways that...
He would tell me all of the time. He would literally say, you will never get better than me. And I'm like, even back then, I swear I was like probably like 115 pounds. Like I was tiny.
Yeah.
And he would tell me all the time that I was a bad built B word. And like I believed it. I totally believed it.
I hate that.
And looking back, I'm just like, oh my God.
You're beautiful and you were beautiful then. And it's heartbreaking because it's so common.
Yeah.
It's heartbreaking because it's not something that I feel like we can avoid talking to our daughters about. Truthfully.
Yeah, you can.
Like you need to know the signs of someone because it doesn't start out with them first date punching you in the face.
No,
that's not how it starts. You. Right. They're obsessed with you.
They love you so much. They just can't stop. They want to talk to you. They need to see you.
And then is when the manipulation starts.
That's what's so hard is I think having a daughter, I just like if Emery,
I would go to jail.
I will go to jail with a smile in my mugshot.
Cuff me.
Please.
Because it's going to happen.
Please.
Yeah, because and I think too, like, I didn't go through anywhere near what you went through, but there have been remnants of that in my past with, my mom's husbands and whatever, nothing to the extent, right? But even those things have made me so heightenedly aware of manipulative or narcissistic behaviors or behaviors that I feel like could lead to that.
Yeah.
And I will cut you off so fast your head will spin, baby, and I will never look back.
Yeah.
Because I won't tolerate it.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen around me.
That's
or
how
my
I
children.
am now.
Yeah. But like, don't you wish that you had somebody in your life at that time to feel that passionately about that?
Yeah. Nobody had the relationship with me to talk any sense into me at that time.
It's so difficult.
I had nobody.
And so challenging.
I will say the only person that saw it for what it was his dad. His dad.
And his dad never, what did he do?
So his dad would witness some of this stuff. And because he lived in the house, obviously, he could hear us.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I forget you're living with his family at the time.
Yeah.
Did his dad have any of these tendencies?
No. His dad is a really great guy. His dad was a hard worker. His dad was wonderful. So basically, like, I remember one time I was packing all of my stuff. I'm like gathering all my stuff. And he comes up in the room. And he's like, Ciara, I do not want to see you back here. He's like, I know he's my son, but I know what I have. And you do.
I have chills on my body.
I know. I will never forget that moment. He's like, you do not deserve this. I do not want to see you back here.
Have you seen It Ends With Us?
Yes.
How? Okay, I don't want to spoil
No, sorry. I have not seen it. I've read the book.
Oh,
so and the girl's name is Emmy.
Oh,
like you're joking.
Literally that. Yeah, I have goosebumps. There's a scene at the end of the movie, and spoiler alert if you don't want to hear this, but there's a scene at the end of the movie where the sister of Ryle looks at Blake Lively and she says, like, as his sister, I wish that you could find a way to forgive him. But as your best friend, if you take him back, I will never speak to you again.
Yeah.
And that's exactly the moment that you had with his dad. Yeah. And I'm sure that it broke his heart to have to say that about his own flesh and blood.
Yeah. he was devastated by his son and his son's actions. And he had already been in trouble with the law at this point. So like he knew that his son was like a little, you know, wannabe thug, whatever he thought he was in Denton, Texas. Like what?
And okay, to be fair, you showed me a picture of him. I get the allure, right? It's not like you like what we're envisioning is this like gross human. Like, no, you could totally understand how you could have been manipulated by a person like that.
This man could sell, you know, ice to an Eskimo. He's like very charming, very
handsome and
appealing,
put together, and those kind of things. And that's
a con
the
artist.
Scariest part about it, right? Is evil can be wrapped in such a normal looking face.
So many different forms.
So unfortunately, your time with sucky baby daddies didn't end there.
No.
And you know, I hate it for you, actually. I hate it for you, but also I'm so thankful that God chose you to be those girls' mom.
Yeah. Like I would be someone else's mom? No way.
No. And
no way.
You would go through it again just to have them.
Yes.
Right? So you have Emery. The relationship with her dad ends.
So it ended while I was pregnant.
Okay.
So he was never like
in her life.
I went to my dad and his girlfriend at the time, and I told them, and I'm like, I'm in trouble. I'm pregnant. And they were like, are you done with him? And I was like, yes, absolutely. Because while the final moment and what made it be done was we were sitting in my car and we're fighting, and he grabbed my head while I'm pregnant and slammed my head in the middle console. And I remember, the only thing I remember is seeing remnants of my hair stuck in the plastic of the middle console. Oh, and I literally like dropped him off, and you never went back. Never, ever, ever. So I went straight to my dad and I told them like, I'm in trouble, blah, blah, blah. And so they helped me get a studio apartment. It was like $500 a month. It was like my bed, Emery's crib, kitchen, bathroom, like all right there.
So you're now a 20-year-old single mom who not only has a fractured relationship with your own mom. What was that first year of Emery's life like?
I don't want to cry, but honestly, it was the best. It really was. Like, I look back and that time of like us in the studio apartment, she was like the best baby. Aww. Like, I remember I would like sit with my knees up and she would like, you know, when they're just sitting there and like that's all I remember.
Oh,
like, that's all we did.
It's intoxicating.
It was just her and I. And it was difficult. Like, of course I was broke.
Yeah.
Like, but it was the best time. Like, cause it was all mine. I paid for it. I did that. Yeah. Like, I got us out of that. Like, it was wonderful.
And God redeemed a part of that story for you.
Yeah.
And made it okay in her little tiny face. Ugh. Woo! Okay. Yeah, that's very challenging because, but also like the sweetness of those memories probably.
I appreciated them.
Yeah, because you're like, I just got out of hell.
Yeah, I just got out of hell. I was raised in another version of hell. And all I know is I love this baby. So like, I am going to move heavens and earth. And like, how could you not?
Yeah.
Like, that's all I could think is like, how could you not?
I know.
But I was like so in love and like infatuated. And so we did the dang thing.
I love it.
My grandma actually retired to keep Emery. So I didn't have to pay for daycare because there ain't no way I couldn't pay for daycare. Right? My grandmother was literally a saint. She had Emery from when Emery was 6 weeks old. And maybe even before, because I don't think I got any maternity leave. Love that.
Yeah.
She kept her and she has since passed. But
I'm sorry.
Her and Emery were like best buddies. And I would not have survived paying for daycare or any of that. So that helped a lot.
Wow. Well, so, I mean, you know, part of our story, but like adoption and foster care is a huge thing for us. And part of the qualms that we have with the system is that, you know, we're, you know, pro-life state, right? So like we're not in favor of abortion, but then there's a lapse between when that woman has that baby and supporting them.
Yeah.
Right.
Help.
And help.
Yeah.
And I'm so passionate about that because there's so many situations that could have been avoided if someone had someone in their corner, right? And we work with Mid-Cities Women's Clinic, and we do a lot of their video work. My husband does, and I love to listen to those stories of how they support those women that choose to have those kids, because that's the issue, right?
Yeah.
Like if you hadn't had help, you would have been in a completely different situation, right?
What would you have done?
But if you have these people around you that are saying, no, you can do this. I'm going to personally sacrifice so that this can happen, right? That's what your grandmother did.
Yeah.
That to me is the most beautiful depiction of community and people doing what God has asked them to do to care for the orphans and the widows, right? And like, without people like that, there are no mothers like you.
No, I couldn't have worked. I couldn't have been such a hard worker. I mean, I was picking up overtime. I was working in other departments. I was begging, like, what can I do? Like working in a hospital, you have so many different departments, and I would have been the dang janitor. I didn't care. Like, give me that overtime money.
Yes.
And I was able to do that because my grandmother so selflessly
sacrificed
that.
That's
like
incredible.
She told me that. She came to the hospital when I had Emery, and that's when she told me that she was going to, because up until that point, I did not know what I was going to do. I didn't even care. Like all I knew was
you were like, I have this baby and I will figure it out.
Yeah. Like I had no idea.
Wow. Wow, that's incredible. That's so encouraging.
Yeah.
So you have Emery. First year's incredible. When does Devil Daddy number 2 come on the scene?
Devil Daddy. Well, so before the demon, there's also another. So I had gotten pregnant. I was in a relationship. I'd gotten pregnant.
Okay, I think I remember
And
this.
we were actually in a really great relationship. Like, I would say that was the first time I was probably like genuinely like happy with someone else.
Okay.
And we got pregnant. It was April of 2016.
Okay.
And we had gone to a 3D sonogram to figure out the gender of the baby. And we go there and they're like, we can't find a heartbeat. So I'm like, panic ensues. And so we go to the hospital. I ended up having to deliver because I was 15 weeks. So I delivered a baby boy at that point. So I'm like all kinds of moms. I'm like, girl mom, bereaved mom, stepmom, mom. That's my name.
That's your name. And I mean, our story, and that is, I don't wish that loss on my worst enemy. No. Truly. Did that end that relationship for y'all? Was that just like you couldn't come back from it?
Yeah, it ended it. He had his way of coping. I had my way of coping, and it just didn't align. And I think that, and from what I've heard, like when you suffer a loss like that, it either makes or breaks you.
Oh, 1,000,000%.
Yeah. And I would like look at him with resentment. It was a reminder. And we just fell apart. Yeah. Completely fell apart.
I hate that.
Yeah.
That sucks. It
was sad.
So hard.
It was really sad.
So you lose your son. And then how long is it until this next person enters the scene?
Like, she got too many baby daddies.
No,
No, but I got too many baby daddies. They're too much. Girl. They're too much. I think maybe 2019.
The year before the world went insane.
Yeah. I was in quarantine with this human.
Oh, God. I forgot.
It was not pleasant. Anyway, so I meet this person, and this person is infatuated with me. Won't leave me alone. Like, DMing me.
And I knew him personally.
Yeah. So you know the traits of that.
But I also know that, like, yet again, a charming human being who definitely in his glory days was someone that could pull girls and do, whatever. And that's the stigma that I want to break.
I know.
Right? It's like, it doesn't always happen to weak-minded women. It doesn't always happen to like people that look gross or they're unattractive and they're whatever. Like, it's normal, regular dudes out here really be doing this stuff.
Yeah. And I mean, by this point, Emery was like 5. I was like a grown woman.
Yeah.
I was very secure in my little place in the world. And of course, I wanted a family.
Yes.
Like, who doesn't? And this guy, I mean, I remember he had asked me to hang out, and I'm like, I'm not really interested, or I would ignore him, but he would just keep going. And so finally, I gave in, and met up with him. And just ever from that point, it was like, okay, maybe he just like really likes me. And when you have, granted, I was a grown woman and I was taking care of my business, but internally I still have low self-esteem.
Right.
Don't know my own worth.
Yeah.
I'm still young.
Right.
I'm like 20, I don't know, 25.
Yeah.
So I still have a lot to learn.
Right.
And so I just take it for what it appears to be. And that love bombing. Like
red flag.
If it appears too good to be true.
That's because it is, baby.
Literally
it is.
Ugh,
it makes me sick.
Is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't even want to give him the time of day.
Yeah.
Truly, I don't even want to like elaborate so much.
Yeah.
But what I want to hear from you is, what has it been like since having your daughter?
Yeah. So
and having to go through the court system and deal with him and those things, because I think that women need to know what they're getting into, right?
Mm-hmm.
This why, like, you really need to know who you about to like jump in them sheets with, because you really could be tied to this person for the rest of your life.
You really need to know. The court system. It was so bad. So while I was pregnant, I truly considered not having Ella. I actually made an appointment, went all by myself to a little scary little clinic where people were like rioting outside. Scary. Because I knew what my life would look like with this person.
Yeah.
I knew it. He was making my life miserable prior.
Right.
And I knew. And I did not want that. And up until that day, I was not excited, not happy. I was miserable that I had gotten pregnant. And I go to this appointment and they call me back and do a little sonogram, because you have to do so many things.
Right.
And they send me back out into the lobby, and I'm just like, I look around me and the lobby is filled with women. And it's so terrible because like you open the doors and lines and chairs of women fill them because they don't know what to do. And so I'm sitting there and I'm looking at these women. I'm like, I can't do this. And I just get up and walked out. And since that day, I have always been like so ready to have that baby. But I felt like I needed to mentally make that choice. And I needed to be okay with the repercussions that I was putting onto myself, because I knew what it was going to be.
Yeah.
So I can't say I wasn't prepared. I was very prepared, but it stings a little different when said child is like in the flesh and you love them so much.
Yeah.
And you watch this person. You do not know pain until someone uses your child as a pawn to hurt you. It is an unfathomable pain. And if there are any signs that someone could be a narcissist, if anyone is, if their family is saying anything.
If their family is telling you to get out or giving you
or
signs
friends,
of like, yes, if they have no friends or their friends are pulling you aside like, hey, you should be concerned. You should be concerned.
Yes. If they have no friends, huge red flag.
Yeah.
Huge red flag.
Yeah. Yeah.
They have no one that they are in a deep, have a deep connection with.
Yeah.
It's because nobody knows them. And it's very, very sad. And I do feel bad for those people, like how incredibly lonely.
Right.
But like you don't just go wreak havoc on the rest of the world.
No, you don't. Sure don't. You take accountability and go to therapy.
Yeah.
That's what you do.
You go to therapy and cry to your therapist. Like I go to my therapist and cry about you.
Exactly. Right. Can I send you the bill?
Like it's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's really, really hard because co-parenting with a narcissist is a level of hell that I would not wish on my worst enemy ever. There's actually a term called parallel parenting, which is aligns more with what you're actually having to do, which is like, as a mother, you're like, you know, where's my child? What are they eating? What are they eating? You know, all of these things. You want to control all of these things and be in the know.
Right.
But you cannot be. You have to step back and be like, whatever happens when this baby is with this other parent, is not my business.
Yeah. And I have to trust that God is going to care for her in a way that I can't do because I'm not there.
Yes. You cannot be there. There is nothing you can do.
That is
lots of sleepless
terrifying.
nights.
I cannot. It breaks my heart that you have to go through that. It breaks my heart for Ella. It breaks my heart for Emery. It breaks my heart for your current husband. Like, it is devastating. So honestly, and it's devastating knowing and watching you have to go through that and that play out, like, in the way that it's currently still affecting your life.
Oh yeah.
Because this person,
and I'm totally prepared for this to be that's what I get so upset about when something happens and I get so like devastated and like defeated and like have a breakdown. I tell Justin, I'm like, Justin, it's that there is no end game.
No, this is it.
This is it.
Yeah.
And that's what I just like break down to Justin about, because I'm like, this will never stop.
To bring hope to that, because there is hope in some regard that one day Ella will be able to vocalize to a judge and a court the things that have gone on in front of her, and that door will close for him. In Jesus' name, I'm praying that for her, because truly I do think that. And I think that you guys are such vigilant parents right now. Like, you're doing such a good job to correct the behaviors and the things that she is exposed to over there. Yeah. That she will recognize it, and she will know that you are a phenomenal mom and you did everything that you could to protect her, even when you weren't able to do that all the time. Like, truly, I want you to hear me say that.
I have to like believe that.
And she will. And she will. Truly, she will.
Ella is like...
Oh, and Ella gonna hold her own, baby. Ella gonna hold her own.
Ella gonna rule the world one day.
Real.
Like, this is like wild child feral central.
I love her.
I cannot wait until she just does all of the things.
And she will. She truly will. But
if
part of that is because you have that fiery spirit of like, I'm not gonna get knocked down. Yeah. You know what I mean?
She has that good side of me. And like, that's why I'm like, if you think that you're gonna pull one over on Ella,
it ain't gonna happen.
Thoughts and prayers, bestie, because
no, it's not gonna happen. So she will get her time. And I truly believe that God will make it right. Right. I like, the Bible talks about God is a just God and a merciful God. And I know that God is gonna have mercy on your family, and that more quickly than maybe even her dad knows, truthfully. Yeah. So I appreciate that you shared that, because there's a lot of people that are currently in your situation and feel that hopelessness and feel like, how am I going to get up and do this again and again and again? Yeah. But that baby keeps you going. Yeah. And, you know, and you're doing a great job. You're doing a great job.
I mean, whether it's a single mom or a single mom that is parenting without a father at all, or a single mom that is parenting with a narcissist, or whatever the case may be, like, my DMs are always open. Like, I'm very, very, very passionate about single moms and the struggle and all of that. So I would love to be like an advocate.
Of a single mom. And
you turned out pretty good.
We still, okay. I'm okay. But yeah, I mean, I think that that's the biggest thing too, is like the loneliness that comes with, you know, not all of your friends are single moms or those things. And it's like, who do I turn to? Right. And I do think that's the beauty of social media, and for you in particular, TikTok, of giving you that platform to really be a beacon of hope for other women. Yes. And I think that's why this story is so important. So, okay, enough with the yucky stuff, right? Like, let's talk about the victories in your life, baby, because there's been a lot this last year. So, like I mentioned in the beginning, also, do you know what just hit me? I literally said your other last name. Your name is not right anymore. I said Jones. Yeah, your last name is Jones. So we'll correct that.
Justin's gonna be big.
Justin's gonna text me and be like, "Excuse me,
you
what?"
better tell Justin right now.
So Justin is your husband. Yes, we love Justin.
You love Justin like so much. It's so funny.
I love Justin because I didn't have a Justin in my childhood.
Yeah, and you can like compare how like these other men, like especially in the house buying market, like they don't be doing nothing.
No, they don't. I was like, Justin, baby, you carried this transaction on your back, son. Like, seriously, he was so wonderful. But more than anything, like, I am a child of a single mom, and I didn't have a father figure that I respected or that deserved that in my life. And so I'm watching Justin care for y'all's daughters in ways that, like, is so wonderful. And I wish that I'd had that. And so, no, I'm a huge Justin fan. Big Justin fan. And I just think like y'all's dynamic is hilarious. Like he loves you so much and you love him so much. And it's just, it's beautiful to see how God he redeemed that for you. And that is, we love it.
He's like the calm to my little crazy.
He is. And let me tell you, so obviously you guys know I'm in real estate. Ciara and Justin bought a house with me and it was the funniest freaking thing because Justin would know all the answers, right? He would do all the things. Like, he was like coming so prepared.
Was he in a past life?
I would call him and I'd be like, listen, I'm going to call Ciara, but I want to tell you first, like some stuff hit the fan. We're going to figure it out. But like, I'm preppy, right? And then he would have to like deliver that information to you. And then you'd like
gently.
Yeah, we're like, okay, it's okay. Like, we're going to be okay.
Because he knows, like, I had told him up front, I'm like, I can't deal with this.
Yeah.
I can't be involved.
Yeah.
My anxiety, I'm going to lose my mind. Right. Please handle it.
Yeah.
And he did.
And he did. And he did so good. He did so good. So huge Justin fans in this house. So this last year, you started utilizing your TikTok platform.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, so incredibly impressed by you. TikTok to me is very difficult. I've just started and literally only because you're like, Jordyn, do it.
Yeah.
Tell me how that started. Like, give the audience, like, paint the picture.
Yeah. So, I mean, everyone downloaded TikTok, you know, quarantine era, whatever. Have TikTok. I would randomly post, like, I mean, not often, randomly. And they would never, like, pop off or anything.
Yeah.
Well, my little Ella girl, my little star, I posted a video of Ella and Pop-Up, which is her grandpa.
Yeah, whom we love.
Because they're the cutest little duo that you never knew you needed.
Yeah.
And I put a, you know, cute little country song in the background of it, and it flew.
I love that.
It flew. It has like 2-point-something million views right now.
That's wild.
And so that had been like my dream. Like literally another bucket list was to go viral. Like, I don't know why.
For the right reasons.
This sounds fun. Like, I want to go viral. Like all these weird things go viral. Like I want to go viral.
Yeah.
And so go viral. And so from there, I'm like, I need to do something with this.
I need to capitalize on it.
Yeah. Like, what can I do? And like, I'm telling Justin, like, I'm going to do this and this. And Justin was low key. He's like, Ciara, it takes a long time to make money off of social media. You need to like calm down. Right. I'm like, no, baby, don't tell me. Mm-hmm. Don't you tell me that. So I just started like, I found this mom talk, not that mom talk.
I was about to say, hey, excuse me, what?
Not the Mormon mom talk. Okay. A different mom talk of like stay at home mom talk.
Okay.
And I work from home. So like, sure, I'll be in the group.
Yeah.
That's fine. So I find this, I don't even know. Like I just started seeing all of this stuff. It's like the algorithm just knows.
Mm-hmm.
It's scary.
It's wild.
It's literally terrifying. Mm-hmm. And so then from there, I started seeing these TikToks about like grow live rooms, which is basically you go live and you go live.
Because you know where my brain goes. I'm like, Ciara's out here like with a little nip slip like, or something. That's why she's making all this money. No, but
that's why I tell Justin, I'm like, I can't believe I made all this money with my clothes on.
Right?
Like, win-win. I love it. And you literally just go live and like you host a room where like we're listening to like, you know, good music. We're listening to like NSYNC, Biggie, you know, 2000s hip hop. We're listening to the 90s. We're jamming out, vibing. And it's just a bunch of moms. And we're like talking and we're chatting. And basically it becomes where like everyone is trying to build their following.
Okay.
Right? Because in order to capitalize and monetize on TikTok, you have to have a certain amount of followers. Mm-hmm. So you have to have 1,000 followers to go live. So I got like 5,000 followers from that viral video.
Oh.
So got
and
that.
Then are you TikTok shop eligible at 5,000 followers?
Yes. So then at TikTok shop, so then at 5,000, you jump on that little TikTok shop, you make commission off of these products. And like at the beginning, like say like I have this pillow and this pillow is on TikTok shop.
Yeah.
So I'm going to add it to my showcase and I'm going to promote it. And then when you buy this pillow, I'm going to get $1.
Great.
Every time somebody buys this pillow. But then it becomes when you've made sales, they just send you stuff. Like these pants are from TikTok shop that I got for free.
I'm doing it today.
Like, I'm trying to think. Is there any? Oh, this necklace, this bubble letter necklace, got that for free. Like, There's like 11 packages on my door every single day.
Okay, but I think the people need to know. Full disclosure.
Yeah.
How much money have you made to date on TikTok?
I have made I have made at least $60,000
In how many months?
since February of 2024. I know I made
yeah, I know you did too, because that's how you bought a freaking house with me.
$53,000 in 4 months.
53. I need y'all to hear that. Okay, $53,000. Someone's salary in 4 months.
Yeah.
From posting on TikTok.
Yeah.
What have I been doing? What have
has anybody been doing? What had I been doing up until that point? Like, it's 2024. We need to be monetizing on the freaking internet.
So something that I don't even think you and I had talked about. So like a year before this, you had reached out to me about potentially buying a house. Y'all ended up going to rent because of down payment, right? And then when you called me, you're like, Jordyn, I'm making like $4,000 a week.
Yeah.
A week.
Yeah.
On TikTok's, like TikTok live rooms. And I want to buy a house. And I was like,
what?
Yeah, you do.
And you need to teach me.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, let's trade, right? I'll teach you how to buy a house. You teach me how to be a freaking TikToker.
Yeah.
So it's been incredible to watch you do this, because it's so cool. And I love it. I wait for your videos to come on TikTok. And this is like, I've only been on TikTok for like, I don't know, a month. And I'm like, I love it because I feel connected to you.
Yeah, the community is literally incredible.
It's so different for me because Facebook, like we were talking about, like that's your family photos. That's where your grandparents are, like all those things, right? And then Instagram for me has definitely been the platform that I have like poured into, that I have like curated and made my own. But there's still some stuff that like I don't share on Instagram, but like I'll go to TikTok and I'll just talk. Like I'll just be yapping. Yeah. Like I'm just like, let me just get on here and tell stories. Yeah. Because that's what I love to do. Duh. Hello. Yeah. So, but you so inspired me to do that. And you wrote an ebook.
I did.
And we're gonna put the link to that ebook in the show notes.
Yes.
Because I think it's incredible. But you're like really out here monetizing this app.
Yeah. I made the most out of what I was given. And looking back on like little broke, young, single mama, Ciara, like in that studio apartment. And I loved it at the time. But like buying that house was so like
huge,
bittersweet. It was so emotional for me. Yeah. Because like I've never had anything nice in my life. And like I've had to work for everything that I have
chills all over my body. That's why I'm in real estate.
Yeah.
That is why. Yeah. Truly, because that's what fires me up is like watching someone come from nothing. Yeah. And do it on their own and then earn the right to be a homeowner and work their literal butts off, including what Justin did during the transaction, because it wasn't easy. Yeah. D.R. Horton don't make nothing easy. They be giving you money, but they don't make nothing easy. No. But just seeing you guys come together in that way, and also you to really take every opportunity that's been thrown at you and make something really, really wonderful out of it is encouraging and inspiring. And I just applaud you for that, because a lot of people would feel like, oh, well, nothing ever good has happened. So like, when will it, it might not ever start. But you have never looked at your life that way.
No, I think a lot of it has to do with too, like, yes, my childhood was not great. But one thing that always was consistent was my dad working. My dad always worked, and he would go work out of town. And yes, I would miss him, and I can't imagine how hard it is to leave your kids. But like when you have to pay the bills, you do what you have to do.
Yep. We say this in our household all the time. Need raises ability, right? Like if you have to provide for people, if you have people dependent on you, like you will find a way to be able to do it.
You will find a way. It's amazing how like it just happens.
Yeah. But it happens because of hard work.
Yeah, it does. If you have the right mentality and the right work ethic, like you'll make it happen.
Wow. That's okay. Yes. And I need to get on TikTok. Yes. We've talked about this. I'm gonna keep doing it. I'm gonna keep trying and showing up.
All the clothes, jewelry, kitchen decor. I just got some new pots and pans.
From TikTok.
Yeah, the ones that clip.
The ones that clip and then you can take and change the.
I just got those.
That's awesome. You need to post them on your TikTok shop. So
I know. I have
Sorry, Dylan. I'm gonna go shopping today. Okay, well, that's incredible, and I love that so much. And I think that talking about it, and like, not that you're like a regular person, but you're a regular person, and you're out here making.
That's what I would tell them, like in videos or when I would live. I'm like, I'm just little old me. Like I promise. Like I know that when you see people on social media, you're like, Oh my God.
I'm like, how they get all these followers and all these things. What's your follower count at now?
I'm at like 58 point something.
58.
I'm almost at 60K.
1,000 people.
Yeah, I'm almost at 60K.
That's like a Taylor Swift concert. Watching you every day.
Stop.
That's incredible. I love it. And I love it so much. So because like that also, like, you don't have millions of followers and you're making half 100 that like.
Yeah. You don't have to be a huge, Avery Woods or huge content creator to make money and make a difference for your family.
It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Insane.
But I love it. Wow. We've talked about a lot.
Yeah.
We've talked about a lot. Selfishly, what was one thing that you loved in buying a home with me as your agent? I'm fishing for compliments, baby.
I'm just telling you right now, I would not have survived or I would have been in jail without you and Justin because the lenders,
yeah, the lenders were not.
They
wonderful.
worked straight for the devil and couldn't be me. So
yeah,
thank you for handling that because ain't no way.
I remember Justin was like texting me on the side, like, "Hey, Ciara's having like a freak out," and so I was like, "Let me just send sister some crumble cookies and put her butt in the bath, okay?
Yeah.
Like, put her in the bathtub because she needs it."
Yeah.
No, but I really do. I love y'all's family. Like, I love what you've built. I love what you're continuing to build. I'm here front row seat to watch all the goodness in your life play out. So I'm stoked. Okay, now a new segment. We're adding a new segment. Okay. It's called Rapid Fire Questions. Okay. So I'm going to ask you 3 random questions. You have to answer them immediately off the top of your head. Does pineapple belong on pizza?
No.
Okay. If you could be one type of athlete, what would you be? Quickly, hurry. What's the first thing that came to your head?
Football player.
You mean a football player?
I want to knock someone out.
Okay, and what's your favorite Taylor Swift song? I know.
All too well. 10-minute version.
Duh.
10-minute version.
As it should be.
Oh.
As it should be. Can I tell you that I am ashamed how many times I've like lingered in the car just sitting in my driveway screaming that.
Oh yeah.
With everything in me.
Even though you're like happily married, yeah.
Literally happily married, so happy.
It just hits.
And yet I'm like screaming those lyrics like I'm back in like college. Wow.
Yes.
Okay, well, this has been an absolute blast.
Yes.
I'm so thankful that you decided to open up all the things. I do want to just say too, like, if any of this stuff resonated with you or if you have felt like you could empathize with things that Ciara has been through, please do not hesitate to reach out to her. We're also going to put the hyperlink for Mid-Cities Women's Clinic in our show notes because they're an amazing resource for women who have gone through things like Ciara has gone through. And then also, if you're in a dangerous situation, please tell someone. Reach out to a family or friend, call a hotline. Seriously, don't do this alone because there's a lot of people who are on the other side of it that would love to help you.
Yes, I am definitely one of them. Thank you so much for having me.
So
I get to knock something off my bucket list. And I bought a house. I knocked 2 things off a bucket list because of you.
High five.
Love that.
Love that and love you.
Love
okay,
you.
We'll see you later. Goodbye.
Bye, besties.
Hey guys, thanks for listening to my mom's podcast, Let's Just Be Real. If you enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe, like, follow, rate, and review so you don't miss any of these honest and amazing stories. For all the behind-the-scenes content, go follow my mom at Jordyn Swingle on Instagram. And as always, let's just be real.